In this week's vlog, you're going to see me clean up the garden, a fall garden cleanup. And wow, wait till you see all the tomatoes that I harvested from that volunteer tomato over by my asparagus. So come along and see what my week has been like. It's Saturday, November 3rd, and I'm sleepy. I think it's because we've got more rain moving in. Yeah, we had a little bit of sun yesterday, but not much. It's actually, the forecast says partly sunny today, but so far we've had more sun today than we did yesterday when it was supposed to be mostly sunny. Anyway, I'm making myself get out and do some work. I want to get the blackberries taken care of. Let me show you what I've done so far. So a couple weeks ago, I got this side all weeded, and there actually weren't that many weeds, it's just how tall they were. And I cut back all of the canes that were growing, through there. I mean, some of them were pretty long, growing along the carpet, trying to root. So I cut those all back. So today, my plan is to weed this side, at least part of it. I don't know how far I'm going to get. And I'm going to at least start on this side. Get the weeds out. Yep, and then another day I'm finally going to really seriously prune. I'm going to dig out. I'm going to have them spaced at least 18 inches apart. Try to dig out the ones, at least cut down the ones in between that are too close. And then seriously prune them down. Okay, change of plans. First, I need to get all these field peas up. I just discovered I have a whole bunch of field peas growing in the asparagus mulch. Look, I'll show you. Yeah. See that little teeny tiny pea? It's a wild pea. A whole bunch of them decided to grow here. I need to get them up before they get any bigger. Alright, I got most of the field peas out of the asparagus. It's easy, there's so many, it's easy in this sun. But if a few start to get bigger, it's okay, I'll get them as I notice them. But I also did notice that there's tons of field peas that have sprouted underneath the blackberries. But that's okay, because I'm going to cover this whole area with cardboard as soon as I get it all trimmed down. So, hopefully I'll get that done before the field peas get too big. Yeah, there wasn't too much. There really wasn't too much. Happily surprised. On this side, it's more blackberry making a mess than anything else. The couple of dock plants, I might dig out, I might leave them. They don't really cause a problem because the roots go down so deep. But, yeah, other than that, I think I need to go ahead and get this thoroughly pruned, cut off the excess plants that I don't want so I can get the cardboard down. Let's now go back in for a little bit and chill out. Alright, it's, 3 hours later, and I want to show you what I've got cut down so far. I didn't realize I had so much dead wood in there. Good grief. I've got this pile, and I've got this pile, and I want to get it up and in the woods before we have all that rain out. Well, we're not supposed to get a ton of rain. That's Jerry sawing in the background, by the way. But look how much barer they're looking. It's kind of hard to tell because I've got all that green tomato and asparagus, but here, how about this way? There's a lot less on the trellis than there was. Just from the cutting. I haven't dug anything up. It's just cutting stuff down. See, look at all this needs to be cut off and removed. This is dead. This needs to come out. See? So I gotta get to work on that. Well, it's Sunday now, November 4th, right? Yeah, November 4th. Back on everybody else's time. Daylight saving time is over. And yeah, I'm starting kind of late today because I've got hormonal fatigue going on. It's one of those days where I'd like to just lie in bed all day. I have no enthusiasm for anything. I wonder why I'm doing anything. What's the purpose? Why, you know, that whole, I'm not depressed. I'm just blah. I'm like, I want to sleep. That's all. But there are a couple things I wanted to share with you today. First of all, off and on, and I think more on than off, we have rats living under the tough shed. So I'm going to give them some treats. Kitchen scraps. I thought there hadn't been rats here for a while, but a couple of mornings, early mornings, it was still dark, I came over here, and two of them were having a little tussle, and they actually poked their heads out. I said, oh, okay, somebody I can give treats to. I have treats for the rats. Who wants a treat? Who wants a treat? Making that statement in that particular tone of voice, I mean, that's just the tone of voice I use, but that actually does train them, because the last batch of rats that I was doing, they got to where, like, 5 minutes after I would put down the treats and call, they would, you know, the treats would be gone. So they actually learned to associate those words with, okay, I've got goodies at my door. Okay, going into the tough shed and hoping that the wind doesn't slam the door shut. But I want to show you the before. It's been 5 years, more than 5, well, say about 5 years since we finished out the tough shed. Almost 5 years in this coming February. And still the insulation up here is bare. Jerry never covered it. It's because I knew he had had enough of this project, and I said, oh, just wait on it. So he's finally, now all the other projects have dwindled down to nothing, so I asked him if he would go ahead and get rid of that pile of drywall that's up in the loft here, in the tough shed loft, and finish that up. So it's bare all around on both sides. And Jerry, yesterday, he was cutting some wood. I'm not exactly sure how he's going to use it as some sort of anchor for the drywall. We'll see what he does. It's Monday morning now, and I'm feeling a lot better, thank you very much. Actually, the blah kind of headachy feeling only lasted for a few hours. When a woman is overdosing on magnesium, overdosing, symptoms, hormonally imbalanced symptoms, they are few and far between, and a lot milder, just heads up. But I wanted to show you something that Jerry acquired this morning. It's very unusual that we get 2 mice in a trap. We have several traps, and you say, what is that thing? we have several traps in both of the cars at all times. And usually we'll get 1 mouse in 1 trap. Once in a while, Jerry will get a mouse each in 2 traps, usually in both the cars. But apparently these 2 mice decided to go in together last night. Now they're just waiting to be released. Now I'm going to edit what I think might be the most important book I've ever written. It's actually a mini book. It's about, what, 3,800 words? Tease, tease, tease. I'm actually going to post it in its entirety to my blog today. So I will put a link to this blog post down in the video description in case you're wondering, because the blog post will be available way before the actual book is available for download. Alright, I'm going to show you out our dirty window. Ah, there goes one. That the lady beetles swarm. The annual invasion of the Asian lady beetles has begun. It actually began last week, but it wasn't nearly this bad. You see them flying around. Look at them up there. Whoops. I zoomed it. Let's unzoom it. Walking around up there all over the window. They really like this window. Probably annoying with the wasps there. Look at that, they're all over that see him. Let's see. That's better. Gotta zoom in all over that wall up there. Tuesday morning now. The fog was pretty thick when we got up. It's lifting a little bit. The sun's trying to peek out. And I have some work to do. I'm headed to do some harvesting because Friday night is supposed to be our first frost. It'll be about a week later than the average first frost. So I need to get all my frost tender things picked. All the peppers that are big enough to be picked, whatever color they are, and all the squash and all the tomatoes. So I'm going to start with the peppers now. I'm not going to try to do everything all at once. Look at this, y'all. My basket runneth over. I warned Jerry we were going to be eating a lot of peppers this week because I want to put as few more in the freezer as I can because I've already got quite a bit of cut up pepper in the freezer, but looks like I'm going to have to freeze some of these, huh? It's Wednesday morning now, about 9:30. Kind of cool, but not bad. Humid, of course. But I have some more stuff to take care of because of the freeze coming Friday. Unfortunately, I'm not going to end up with as many squash fruits as I thought because these dudes just aren't, they're not ripe yet. And they'll be no good after the freeze. See? I mean, I don't know. I guess I could cut them open and see how they are. Maybe I'll just harvest them and just do that, see how they are. But yeah, so I'm going to be harvesting all the possible squash that are reasonably ripe and cutting all this vine down because once it freezes, it gets gross. So I want to get them out of here before it freezes. That's what I'm doing right now. Alright, here's today's harvest. This one might be a little too green. Not sure. This one is probably too green. But we'll see. I'm not sure about this one. And I also am, there were one or two, for sure there was one that, one ripe big one, I'll show you in a second, but it kind of split. And it might have gotten mold inside, so I don't want to risk eating it. So I'm down at least that one. Oh well. So here is all the vine refuse. There's one I was talking about that split a little bit. That's not counting the one that I already knew was split from a couple weeks ago. And one of my subscribers commented on the video that I made that was just about how well the squash plant had done this year. He commented and said, wow, to get a vine this big, it must have produced little roots along the vine. I didn't know they did that, but he was right. I encountered a bunch of these. This is a root. A bunch of these little roots just every once in a while growing along the long vines. So, yep, that's the ticket. Here's some more. These are smaller roots, but they're roots indeed. And now look at our orchard floor. It's looking a lot barer, isn't it? Check out the fall colors on the mountains. Alright, anyway, it's Friday. It's not Friday, it's Thursday morning, and there's a 50% chance of rain, so I want to get out here and finish the tomatoes before it rains. This is what I got up yesterday. This is, I think it's a little bit less than half the plant, maybe, between a third and a half the plant. And I got a pretty good box, almost a full box of mostly green tomatoes, but, I'll see which ones ripen. But yeah, I'll check out over here. So this is where it's, where is it growing from? So it's growing from right there. That's where the base is. And it was all the way back behind that asparagus, covering up here, covering up this asparagus. I pruned that asparagus down. I mean, the asparagus was growing up, but it was still, the tomato had inundated it. And it had come out all the way over here. That's how much I've got down. So I'm going to try to finish the rest of it right now. Took me about half an hour to do this yesterday, so it'll probably take me another half hour. Let's get to it. I disturbed somebody's habitat. Say, I don't want to be on YouTube. So, this is the remnant. Cucumber beetles are saying, hey, where are all the tomatoes we were eating? Where are you going, Mr. Toad? I say, I'm not sure. All that nice big shady plant stuff is gone. There it is. Remember? It was taking up this whole area. I pruned that asparagus too, so now all my asparagus are officially pruned. Yep. It's all clean, isn't it? Now I gotta get the wheelbarrow. Asparagus on top, but most of it's tomato. See, I got a big basket full of tomatoes. There were more tomatoes in the process of ripening on that part of the plant. I got more pink and red and turning pink ones. Still a lot of green though. Today's Friday and I wanted to show you Jerry's got finished. Yay! All the insulation is now covered up with drywall. 5 years after the fact, but oh well, it's done. So I bet you're really curious as to what the blackberries look like now. Check it out. If I'm not feeling too lazy, I'll insert a clip on what they used to be, what they used to look like. Yeah, I had all sorts. I had like 3 big what are they called? Canes like this, really close together, which, you know, produced a lot of berries, but it also produces a lot of moisture, which causes fungus. That's one of the causes of fungus anyway. So yeah, look at. I'm done pruning. I got them pruned, the ones that need to be tied. Right now, I got them tied up, and I've got my cardboard down to keep all the field peas and other weeds from getting excited. However, they just might die tonight. The meteorologists have gradually decreased the low for tonight. It's down to 22, which for a first freeze night, that's pretty cold. Usually our first freeze is like, 32 degrees. Usually not in the 20s, so it's pretty chilly right now. It's going to be cold tonight. But anyway, thanks a lot for watching this vlog. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. I'll see you for the next video. In the meantime, take care and be well.